Atheists lose faith because of hardship. This is such a ridiculous trope which religious media loves to propagate. If you spend any time in the atheist community, you know how often this trope gets thrown around and how poorly it reflects reality. Personally, I became an atheist during a pretty decent part of my life. I had just graduated with honors, I had a job I liked, I was in good health, and I had healthy relationships. I changed my opinion based on reason, and there was no trauma involved. Plenty of atheists share my experience, but of course it's always best to just ask why someone deconverted rather than assume. The happiest countries in the world, places like Finland, Denmark, and the Netherlands, are also some of the most atheistic countries in the world. It also seems that the least happy countries in the world are also pretty religious. Now, I don't think there's a causal relationship there, but it does discredit the idea that people exposed to discontentment and hardship are much more likely to become atheists. Atheists who deconverted were never truly religious. If I, with my 20 years of incredible devotion to Christianity, my strict practice, and my personal relationship with Jesus Christ, was not a true Christian, then no one is. The atheist community is filled with and led by people who were once extremely religious. Matt Dillahunty was a faithful Southern Baptist who deconverted during seminary. Seth Andrews was one of the most devoted and successful Christian radio broadcasters in the world before deconverting. The entire community is dominated by voices of those who were once more religious than most. I understand that it can be difficult to accept that someone might have studied your ideas extensively, be in their right mind, and still have reason to reject them, because that suggests that your ideas are flawed. But that's not an excuse to egotistically assume or assert the ignorance of someone with which you disagree. Such an assumption is especially problematic because atheists are typically more religiously literate than religious people. A Pew poll from 2010 suggests that atheists and agnostics are actually the most religiously literate group in the United States. So if these statistics are correct, a religious person calling an atheist religiously illiterate is often the pot calling the kettle black. There are no atheists in foxholes. This is probably the most insulting statement of them all. Atheists serve in the military, and judging by their own admission, they don't stop believing when they're literally in foxholes. There are those who have had terminal illnesses and never changed their minds as atheists before they died. People like Stephen Hawking come to mind. Dying doesn't automatically make someone believe in God, and if one tries to defend the idea that it does, it's easy to see that this statement can be and often is made unfalsifiable. Atheists secretly believe in God. If I haven't said this enough already, I'll say it one more time. This is unfalsifiable. If you're set on believing this, you can fabricate any reason to reject evidence to the contrary without violating the reason behind this statement. Don't belittle others with statements like these, and if you want to have any productive dialogue with those who believe differently, you're going to have to listen before you speak.